Hey guys, Mike G here. Welcome back to another discussion. And this one, we are going to discuss Alien. Yes, and we got some news, ladies and gentlemen, and we got some images to look at as well. So first, let's just talk about the news, and then we will get to the images, and I will give my thoughts. So let's talk about the news first. And first things first, we're going to talk about the director for just a second. Now, I forgot his name, so I will put his name right there. Okay, so you guys can read his name. You probably know who he is. And he is the guy that did District 9, and he also directed the Star Trek series. And he worked on a previous film not too long ago that Sigourney Weaver was in. Yes, and Sigourney Weaver really likes this director, and she feels also that we are in good hands with this guy. Also, Sigourney Weaver might be in the film. That's cool. So really excited about that. She's one of my favorite actresses because of the Alien series. So really cool there. And so I got a lot of response. I asked a lot of questions, and I got good response about this director who did District 9 and such, in which I personally thought was a really good film. Everybody had good response. Everybody said that we're in good hands. This is a good director. He does a lot of good sci-fi stuff. So yeah. Really good response about this guy. So that gets me excited. I'm really pumped about that. So yeah. Another thing that's really interesting too is that this is a sequel of some sorts, but it's not at the same time. So really, it's the sequel that should have been Alien 3. You know, this should have been Alien 3. That's what I'm guessing they're trying to do, because we see Hicks. Okay, Hicks is in the film. He's burnt, from Aliens. So that's really interesting. So I'm guessing that they're trying to make what should have been after Aliens. Trying to redeem ourselves from the last two films, because they do say that they are trying to ignore the last two previous films. So I'm guessing this is like a relief film, trying to say, okay, this is how it should have been with the sequel. So that's really cool. Another thing we do know is that this is not involved with Prometheus. Prometheus has nothing to do with this film whatsoever. There is a second Prometheus coming out next year. So we do know that. We know it has nothing to do with Prometheus, thank God. Another big part of news is that they are trying to take elements from Alien Resurrection and put them in this film, which actually I don't fear, because I think they're going to take good elements. The good elements, I feel like, is us toying with them. We are taking their DNA and we are doing certain things. They do mention some of the plot about their DNA and something goes wrong. It's kind of like a Jurassic World thing, so pretty big deal there. And we also know that the Alien Queen is back. Yes, the Alien Queen is back, which I will show pictures in just a little bit. You guys have probably seen them already, but we know that the Alien Queen is back. So I'm guessing that this film could be a action type of horror. We will probably get a mix between fans, because there are fans that love the horror and fans that love the action. It just depends on the type of person that you are. I'm more into the action. I love horror, but I'd rather go with action because I think it has a lot more potential compared to the films that we're getting soon, and to compete with them later on. So I think we will get a mixture of that, because judging by the pictures, it's got a really interesting atmosphere. Like, it feels like the first film, but it's got a lot of elements from Aliens, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, I really think this is like just perfect. We got the Queen back, we got Sigourney Weaver, we got a perfect director. We got some awesome characters. I mean, just really cool, interesting story. We're taking good aspects that were from the bad films and putting them in here to make the sequel that should have happened, what they were trying to do, but it didn't work. So, yeah, that to me is really cool. So, yeah, that's all I really have for you guys right now. So, let's get to the pictures, okay? Alright, guys, so let's look at the first picture. I just want to get this one out of the way. This is my least favorite one. Is Ripley wearing this weird alien suit? I don't know what this is about, but it seems like that it could be used to get past the aliens, and maybe it is a sequel to Resurrection. I don't know. Who knows if Ripley still has alien DNA? Because, you know, she senses aliens and such, and maybe this is a way for her to get past aliens since she kind of is a part of them in some weird way. So maybe they will accept her because of the way she is and also looking like that. But I don't know. I don't like it so far. We'll just have to see what they do in the film just because. So, you know, it's all right. I don't know. We'll just have to see what they do with it. Alright guys, so let's look at Hicks. Yes, the guy from the second film, and you could definitely tell it's him from one side. Now, you know, it's been a while once again, you know, because I don't watch my favorite movies of all time over and over again because it kind of ruins it for me. So it's been a little while since I watched Aliens, but I do recall him being burnt by some acid on his face, I believe. So that's probably why that is there. And on his arm. Yes, he did get burnt by acid. I remember now. They actually put him on the ship because he was burnt by acid. And he couldn't go with Ripley to the Queen because he was so injured by the acid. So that's really interesting. So this is the same character. So this tells me that this is a sequel to Aliens. This continues right off. Now, what happens later on and how they are in the situation that they're in after taking off, I think it's going to change just a little bit. So that's really interesting. So this also, you know, raises a question, is Newt in the film? I actually think that's really important. Is Newt in this film? So we know Hicks is there. Now we need to know if Newt is there. Okay. So really interesting. We do get a shot of him there. I'm going to bring up another shot right here, and it is Sigourney Weaver with Hicks as well. So there's that right there. So yeah. Alright, so let's get to this picture. This is really interesting. This is Ripley staring down at somebody surrounded by Hive Node. And obviously, as you could tell, the person really doesn't look that normal. Now, I don't know what that's about because really, Hive Node doesn't have that much effect on you. Now, in the second film, the woman did look sick, but that's because the chest burster was inside of her. And, you know, I don't think a chest burster would be in there for that long. You know, really weird. So the question is this just some ordinary person in Hive Node? I don't know. It could be a test subject from Wayland's because, you know, Wayland is a very screwed up place. You know, they're willing to test humans. I mean, it's nuts. We saw that in Resurrection. You know, it's not a good film, but we obviously saw it. It's confirmed. It's in the Alien franchise. You know, even though this film has nothing to do with it, they are taking good aspects. And I actually think that was a really strange scene, seeing those people like that. So maybe they are referencing those things again in this film, but in a little bit of a different way. So, and obviously we see that his skin is a very strange type of black. So maybe that's because of alien DNA. We don't know what it is. So, yeah, we will definitely speculate on this some more, but just take a good look at that once again. Very strange. Very, 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 very strange right there. So, yes. Alright guys, so let's take a look at this. Now this is really interesting. I don't know what this is. It looks like some sort of base, some sort of shipping place. I don't know what it is. We obviously see that big giant thing above, surrounded by, I don't know if that's Hive Node. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know what Hive Node is, that's basically what the Hive is covered in by the drones. The drones make Hive Node, by the way. So I have a lot of knowledge on the aliens, so yeah. But anyway, I don't know what that thing is. So really interesting there. And so we also see a bunch of like boxes, shipping boxes or something, some type of equipment maybe guns in there for the Marines. I don't know what that's about. You know, I'm not good at that type of stuff, so if anybody's got any really good guess on what that is, please tell me because I don't know what to say. But I do want to point out that this area, now once you see the picture of the Queen, if you look behind her by the trees, if you look at the ceiling, it's very similar. Very similar lighting, very similar structure behind her, and you will see that right now, okay? So, now ignoring the Queen, imagine that image that was just in your head just a little bit ago, and look behind her on the bottom right by her tail. It looks like the same room. It does. It looks like the same room, so that's really interesting. So I think that has a connection right there. But looking at the rest of the picture itself here, it's awesome. You know, I don't know if this is confirmed concept art, but if it is, then it's awesome. I'm really, you know, like hyped. just so pumped about this. And the queen looks awesome. She looks a lot more buff. Everything is thicker on her body. You know, her jaws, her head is thicker. Everything's thick about the queen. And she just looks so intimidating. She looks so strong. Not as scrawny, you know, because as much as I love the queen design, she was a little too scrawny. I think they kind of changed it here. And it looks fantastic. So that's really awesome. But also we see that there's some sort of jungle around her. So that's kind of interesting as well. So that's kind of cool. So we see some jungle. We see like a cave-like structure behind her, and we obviously see the queen herself. It looks like she's chasing something or she's running away. Yeah, she's probably running away or something, maybe chasing, but overall, this is just an amazing piece of picture. I don't know if it's legit, but I think it's really cool. So, but that's all I have for this one, guys. That's all I have for this one. I gave you some information and I gave you some images. Put it in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Mike G off your screen. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. See you guys soon.